When you hear of people saying, oh, my horse rips their rugs all the time, rather than trying to think of clever ways to attach the rug so that the horse can't get it off, question why is it that they want to remove it. Something that's really interesting, people will often look at native breeds and think, yes, they grow a fabulous thick coat, they can manage really well in winter. But they might look at, my Jasmine, for example, who, to look at, you might not think she's got that much of a thick winter coat. Now, I know that she has got an amazing thick winter coat because I know how incredibly fine her coat is in summer. So she is actually, for her, she's really quite woolly. Something that I did a couple of years ago now, I have a little infrared sensor that I'll use to give an idea of temperatures on horses' feet. If we think there might be an abscess brewing, for example. But it's not the world's most scientifically accurate probe, but it does give an indication. And I came one morning and it was a lovely frosty morning and Jasmine actually had a little layer of frost over her coat. So what I did was use that temperature probe and had a look at the temperature on the outside of her hair, parted the hair and did the same thing by looking at the temperature of her skin. And again, of course, it's not a massively scientific way of doing things, but I seem to remember there was about an 18-degree difference just between the outside of her coat and her skin, which really just goes to show how brilliantly insulated they are. They're hindgut digesters, which is really important to understand because as the forage is being fermented in that hindgut, they produce a massive amount of their own body heat. Now, our digestive systems are not the same, so we don't have that same process. So it's hard for us to be able to appreciate that our horses with these fabulous thick coats that they grow over winter and this amazing internal heating system, they don't need the same sort of heat that we do. Now, I'm not saying never rug your horses, but we need to be sort of cognizant about when we're putting rugs on and why we're putting rugs on. Is your horse clipped? In which case, of course, they're going to be feeling the cold more. Is your horse stabled so he's not able to move around? That might be a time when you need to rug more. But if your horse is out, is moving around, has got a good thick winter coat, there's plenty of forage, they've got places to go in shelter if they need it, then for the majority of horses, they're actually much better managing it themselves. And it all comes back again to the fact that those horses that are out, that are moving around, that aren't heavily over-rugged, are not going to be the horses that come into spring already fat and are therefore a much higher risk of laminitis, of developing metabolic issues, all these things that we want to avoid. It's that whole picture. And my warm bloods, they'll happily be out in pretty much all weathers, all conditions, without rugs. And in fact, on the odd occasions when I've thought, oh gosh, perhaps they're going to be feeling a bit chilly, and have offered to put a rug on them, Tessie in particular, who's quite a strong-minded individual, has pulled a bit of a face and stomped off. So it's been really clear that she's not wanted the rug on. And when you hear of people saying, oh, my horse rips their rugs all the time, rather than trying to think of clever ways to attach the rug so that the horse can't get it off, question why is it that they want to remove it? Why are they ripping that rug? Is it because, frankly, they're just too hot? We need to allow nature to do what nature does best. And we as humans so often interfere because we think that we're clever and we think we know better. But 99 times out of 100, we really don't.